Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner. I am Coach Marion Poppins, practically imperfect in every way. I am so glad you're here. Last week, I left you with a question. Do you remember? Do you remember what it was? Well, the question was, what causes perfectionism? Because that's what we were talking about, being perfect, that need to feel like, oh gosh, I gotta do everything perfectly, and how it affects our life. It's not exactly always a positive thing. In fact, most times it's not a positive thing. So where did it come from? And why do we, oh my gosh, we hold on to that so tightly. Like, that perfectionism. And we know it's not really in our benefit to do that. We know the headaches, the heartaches, the disappointments, the failures, the challenges it brings to us. Well, I wouldn't even say challenges because challenges are good. It's much more than a challenge. It's more of a problem. So where did it come from? If we're not born with it, which we're not, it's not a disease. It's not hereditary, at least so far as we know. So, again, where does it come from? And why did I have it? Because let's face it, when I did face it anyway, I realized, I could probably take those off. I am not the perfect mother that I always wanted to be. I am not the perfect wife, the perfect housekeeper, even though I drove myself kind of crazy with that. And the perfect hostess. The problem with the perfection is we can't be perfect in everything. So we find things that we're kind of perfect in. So, okay, I told you that I was going to tell you where perfectionism comes from. I'm not able to do that. I'm not. I'm really not. No one really knows. They don't know. There's so many theories about it, from family to pressures from social media, pressures from this, pressures from that. And yet, I'm going to share my take on it. My take on it is that perfectionism is a symptom. And as long as we keep trying to treat perfectionism, we're going to keep this vicious cycle going of being perfect. As you can see, I've kind of let go of this perfectionism and I don't even know where to look in the camera yet. This is all, again, new, and part of letting go of perfectionism is stepping into areas that you're not familiar with and getting uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. Anyway, I do believe that perfectionism is a symptom, and I think that it leads to many more symptoms. And I could list them all. However, I only have 5 minutes here, so let's go right to what I think is behind that. I think a lot of it comes down to our beliefs about ourselves. The belief that we're not enough. And we always have to prove something. Because when we work externally, we don't have to work internally. Well, at least that's what we believe. We always do need to work internally. However, perfectionism allows us to be outside, and it also is a great place to run to for blame. Yeah, you can blame your parents, you can blame this one, you can blame society, you can blame your teachers. And when you get rid of that, you get rid of the blame too. So even though we push and push to be perfect, You reach that perfection in something, it's empty. So what does it come back to? Going inside. Shall we explore more of that next week?